so much for joining me, Ray. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go ahead and send it back to the couch once again.
All right, before we kick on into the next seg, I just wanted to let you guys know about something cool that we're going to be doing here in a couple of weeks. Riot and the OPL are going to be teaming up with Headspace and Lever for Recall and Restore. So this is basically a look at mental health and well-being for the League of Legends OS community. It's happening week 9, so that's the 15th and 16th of March. This is a really cool initiative that we're going to be a part of, guys.
Absolutely. It happened last year as well with a Headspace round, and this is something that does seem to be very close to the hearts of a lot of Oceanic players, which is a big part of why this round does exist.
That's right. We got a lot of feedback from you guys saying that this was, outside of the game, the #1 thing, the #1 concern that a lot of you guys had, and so it felt like a good thing to do. I'll say that I have struggled with mental health issues on and off throughout my life, and the moment that I realized that talking about it actually makes everything better was like the moment that everything changed for the positive. It doesn't need to be professional. It can be just like a mate, and that's what we're going to be doing for week 9. So a pretty cool thing to be doing. All right. Done. Let's move on because there's no more league talk. It's just time.
It's Nick time.
It's Nick bullshittery. We've got a game. It's called Pick Ban.
Oh.
Now, I think you're going to like this, Bryce. I reckon you will as well, but Bryce just loves these kinds of games.
I'm a big game fan.
We have taken the voice lines from Champions.
Oh, God.
Yes!
Oh,
In
no.
the Pick Ban phase of the game.
Banger.
We have Franken voiced them to make sentences, and you need to tell me who they are, whether they've been picked or banned.
Okay, so like, hold on. Like a sentence is like 5 or 6 words or whatever. Or like,
it's like,
but it's built from different champion quotes.
Yeah. So the first one has 5 champions.
Okay.
And the different parts will make up a sentence. You tell me who the champs are.
Yeah.
The pick the band.
Okay. Do you have sound on your client during Champ Select?
Absolutely.
I have
It's
sound
very low.
off.
My League of Legends client is at 2 because I hate when, like, you know when you have to pick a champion and it's like,
Yeah.
and like I'm very sorry for that, but like that's what it's like in your ear holes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, get that very low. But you need to hear like Elise being like, only a spider, blah blah blah. And like you need to know.
He's already going to win.
You need
I
to know
know. See, he's nailed it.
banger.
All right. Let's listen to the first one.
A new moon is rising.
The dawn has arrived.
A brighter tomorrow.
Like a flower in the dawn. Back to sleep then.
Diana, Leona.
I missed one of them because my earpiece wasn't in.
Diana, Leona. It starts with Diana, like a new moon rises, and then Leona's like
correct.
only a blah. No, sorry, that's the lilies. It was like a new moon.
I could give you the
a new moon
is
rises
rising.
is Diana.
Yep.
And then
The
Leona
dawn
has
has
the sun
arrived.
quote. The dawn has arrived.
Yep.
What? Hold on.
There
The
was
next.
clearly a Jin.
Yeah. The Jin was number 4.
Like a flower in the dawn?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, what? Number 3. I know it, but I forget what the quote was.
Can we listen to it one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we?
please.
New moon is rising.
The dawn has arrived.
Leona.
A brighter tomorrow.
Jace.
Like a flower in the dawn.
Jin.
Back to sleep then.
Galia.
You're a freak. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nailed it. Were you close?
I wouldn't have got Galio.
Wouldn't have got Gallia.
Yeah,
The
he's a
first-
gargoyle.
the
He's
first
like
two-
back to
Okay,
sleep, 'cause
like
he's
I know
a
his
stone.
lore, but I
Yeah.
didn't know what he sounded like, Bryce. That's
Oh,
very
yeah,
different
imagine
things.
not having sound. you noob.
See, I feel like this is another one of those situations, the same way where we did the Frankenface guess the player made of different parts of the players' faces, and the initial version we just zoomed in. I feel
Yeah.
like for the next version of this, it's got to be one word at a
Oh,
time.
that's what I
put
thought it was
together.
Yeah,
going to be.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
'Cause you're pretty good as well.
I need to not blurt them out immediately. So pen and paper, I'm going to write them down as I hear them, and then otherwise I'm just going to.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I'm just going to give some very quick facts because I did spend a whole hour coming up with clues for these that are completely irrelevant. Diana, her E was originally designed to be her alt.
Her dash. Wait,
No,
sorry.
her E is
Moonfall.
the,
Yeah.
pull in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Leona,
Her dash is her alt.
Leona, her face was drawn with Natalie Portman as a reference.
Oh.
There you go. There's a fact.
That's cool.
Jace, his dance references Hammer. You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. You know that. Jin, occasionally when playing this champion, at the start of the game, you can hear a version of the map's theme that fits the style of this champ.
Yeah, plays music. Raid of Gravitas always talks about how playing Jin, like the first 2 minutes, are super cool because you just get banger music to walk out on the roof.
There you go. And finally, Galio's dance represents Beauty and the Beast. All right. To the second one. Listen intently.
Paper ready.
Foolish child.
Always trust.
Your will is never
Rock solid.
That's a lot harder.
There you go.
Well, I think we all know the last one.
Yeah. Also, I got the third one.
Can we play it again, please?
Yeah.
This one was a lot
The
quicker.
first 2 were really quick.
Yeah.
Foolish child.
Always trust.
Your will
is never rock solid.
Of course, the desk can join in.
Evelyn, Blank, Master Yi,
Yes, Yi.
Xin
something
Zhao,
Malphite.
Malphite.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna go with
Xin
agree.
Zhao.
No.
No, isn't it?
Eve was the one that
The first one.
Yeah. I couldn't. I was
Okay,
like, I
so
know it,
let's
but-
work backwards because we got the last one.
Rock
Yeah,
solid.
Malphite.
Malphite, we're done on
Lee
that.
Sin, your will,
Lee Sin,
my
yeah.
hand.
Lee Sin,
Not
correct.
Xin Zhao.
During
Yep.
development, he was known as internally as Marty Punchman.
Yeah.
Mighty Punchman.
Because it was supposed to be a punch, is it like the first one? Like
Well, he is in the boxing
Like
one.
it was always the boom boom one.
Yeah. Oh.
Knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need 1, 2, and 4.
Wait.
Foolish
is one
child?
not? Is one
We got-
not?
we
Oh,
got- you said
foolish
Evelyn,
child.
right?
Is that
Evelyn.
Elise?
That's
I thought that was Evelyn.
Nope.
It's not?
Nope.
Foolish child. That's no Liz.
it is
Liz.
different.
It's Liz.
Liz.
Okay.
She may
yeah,
use
yeah.
echolocation to guide herself. We don't know. But that's
can't
why
see.
she
Oh,
'cause she's
shouts
blind,
after. Yeah,
right?
'cause that's why she shouts
She's
after any ability.
blind.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
There's a fact.
Yeah.
There's a rock solid
Look,
fact,
Lee
right?
Sin's blind, but he doesn't just squeal around the map.
No, he uses Tempest and Cripple.
So we need
Sonic
2 and 4,
Daredevil.
please.
Can we hear another?
we get it
one?
one more time?
Master Yi is 4,
Foolish
isn't it?
child.
Always trust.
Your will
Is never rock
One.
Is never
Lady
and
Cat, though,
always
in the
trust.
chat knows
Oh, karma. Number 2 is
karma, yes,
karma.
Karma,
Always
correct.
And then
trust
Master
in the
Yi is
spirit.
the other one, right?
What was the fourth? Can you
Fourth
say
is
it?
really
No, wait,
is
never
really
mind.
It's
short.
really short.
Can you say it?
It would be 4th is never.
Oh, sick. Yeah, thanks.
That's very difficult.
That's useful. What? Hold on.
In the
It's-
law,
It's like
he was given the derogatory nickname Viscero. Nope.
Derogatory name Viscero.
I need the voice. Okay, one more time.
Just one more time.
One more time.
Foolish child.
Always trust.
Your will
is never rock solid.
Vladimir?
Nope.
Oh, that could have been it. What it is never broken.
Someone may
or
have said
something.
it.
What?
Who did you suggest first time around?
Master
Xin
Yi.
Zhao?
Xin Zhao.
That's what
There
I
it
said,
is.
yeah.
Oh, so it was Xin
is
Zhao.
Xin
That was in Zhao.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Come
all right.
on, niche
That was a
boy.
hell of an
Bamboozled.
anticlimax.
Come on, niche boy.
I'm not going to cop that on the chin. That was your fault. You didn't get it. You're the genius. You should be getting them all the time.
Bryce. It's your job.
Bryce calls abilities by their keyboard letter.
I've never played Liz. I didn't know other champions had like the echoey voice that
Yeah.
like Eve has when she, because Eve's voice is like much different pre-6 than like post-6.
Yeah.
Because the game goes
whispers.
spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know any other champion because I've like never played Liz in my life. Any other champion had kind of that effect. That's
She
cool.
just
I'm
she
gonna play Liz.
she sounds like
Cersei Lannister.
yes.
Yeah.
Just
But like
Because it's the same
creepy
voice.
echoier.
He's gonna backhand you for doing some dumb shit.
It's because it's a voice actress,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure I am.
I
could be
don't
right.
know that for a fact, but it sounds right.
Speaking of dumb shit, let's go on to round 3.
All right, round number 3.
An eye for an eye.
All will die.
You never lie.
Last
was
one
a
is
cool
Timo.
ride.
Timo.
Nope.
Never lie.
Kennen.
No.
Oh,
Kennen.
Kennen.
It was
Correct.
Sion. Sion was number 2, I think.
Nope.
What?
Can we just
No,
can
it's
we
number
play it
3.
again just so that we can all hear it a second time?
An eye for an eye.
All will die.
You never lie.
So there's actually
The third one
yeah,
is literally
there's 4.
you.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
just
word you.
you.
Is the first one Ash?
No, it is
An
not.
eye for an eye.
for an eye. What is that?
Caitlin?
Quinn.
Queen?
Oh,
Caitlin.
wait.
Kale. Oh,
Correct.
Kale.
Kale. It's Kale.
No, the second one is definitely Sion.
That's Warwick.
Oh, is it Warwick?
Is it? No,
it's one of those big
Warwick
beefy
doesn't
guys.
sound
It's
like
like,
Here's my clue.
okay.
He is what he is because when he closes his jaw, you can see his upper and lower teeth.
What?
He is what
He's
he
a
is
dog.
because
Warwick.
when he closes his jaw,
Wait,
you can see
Nasus.
his upper and lower teeth.
No,
but
Nasus?
very close.
Renekton.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
no,
okay.
Nasus just speaks for
Okay.
7 years. He
Because-
just doesn't shut up.
Because if he was an alligator,
Yeah.
they would only show the top teeth due to a strong overbite.
Yeah, so the clue could have been we see him in a
He's a
while,
crocodile.
not later.
But the clue is he is what he is because when he closes his jaw, you can only see
What was
his
the
upper and lower teeth.
What was the fourth one? Because
you- what, the
is
you?
impossible. No, well,
No,
fourth.
Kennen was 4th.
No. Last one is Kennen. There's 5, right?
No, there's 4.
Four.
You've
Oh,
got Kale,
sorry.
Renekton,
3 is
something,
you.
Kennen.
Yeah. Oh, Kale,
you?
Renekton.
Can we listen to you again? Just to,
You.
An eye for an eye.
All will die.
You never lie.
Ari.
No.
Like,
I mean, do you want me to just tell you? You're not going to
it's not like MF. It's not like.
During development, they were called J marks.
What?
Yeah.
That's the clue.
Well,
Your
everything else
clues
is very
are
easy.
just
No, my clues aren't supposed to be like, just give it to you. I'll give you the second one. The Eternal Hunters.
The Eternal
Kindred.
Kindred.
There you go. You want to just give it to you, Bryce?
J marks.
Okay.
All right, we got one more.
Sounds
Oh,
like
we
a
have another one.
discount
How
store.
many? I'm writing down like the numbers so I can like put it so that I can. Okay.
This is
how
a
many are in this? 4 or 5.
Your nerdity disgusts me.
No, 4 or
this
5.
This is the last one.
Right,
There
it doesn't
are
matter.
4 voices in this one.
Yep.
Let us listen.
Bury the world in
A broken sandwich. Chaos will follow.
soon.
Okay.
All right.
The first one is definitely Lysandra.
It is.
Yep.
Lysandra,
The
Tom
last
Kench.
one is definitely Evelyn.
Nope.
Damn it!
Tom Kench is number 2.
Tan Kench is number 2. He is only sated when he strikes a bargain.
Ah,
And
bang
has
on.
sandwiches.
That's a good.
Sandwiches.
That's a good. What's it called?
Clue.
Clue. That one.
Clue.
That's a good clue. I
Number
like that.
3.
Number 3.
Can we hear it again?
Yeah, I think we should play again.
Bury the world in
A broken sandwich. Chaos will follow.
soon.
Oh, I spoke during the last one. I'm so sorry.
I didn't hear the last one.
Can we go again? I'll shut up.
I think it was Kha'Zix.
Bury the world in
A broken sandwich. Chaos will follow.
soon.
No. Okay.
Elise is the last one.
I feel like we've gone tricky, and I'm going to say that it is Warwick as the third one. The last one's like Project Vane.
Incorrect.
Damn.
On both accounts?
On both accounts.
One of them is Renekton. So the third one,
I
Renekton.
think- yeah.
Correct!
Renekton again?
Yeah.
I just keep thinking
Again.
Renekton is Sion.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
avoid
I've
like,
Yeah,
the
double
same
ups.
one.
I
Yeah.
watched too many swiper scrims in the past to not know Renekton's voice line.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
give you a clue? He is what he is because when he closes his jaw, you can see both.
Do we
sides.
see
one
him
is just
later
soon.
or in a while?
Okay, so the fourth one, and that's it, and then we're done. The chat knows Human Panda 22 is on it. 187 Juggernaut nailed it.
Okay.
What's
None
that
of this
clue?
is-
I
Yeah,
feel
what's the clue?
enlightened.
Kimiko Raven on the dot. No one?
I'd have to listen one more time.
This person is the 4th champion to have a dedicated recall teleport animation.
Bury the world
I thought you were all
in
league.
Kasha?
Broken sandwich. Chaos will follow.
soon.
It's is it not Elise?
No.
Camille?
No. Rise of the Thorns.
Oh, Zyra.
Zyra.
God, I knew it's
another-
Zyra.
Really?
I knew
echoey
I
voice.
recognized.
It sounds
God.
like a robot.
No, it's like she's
Well, it is coming through an earpiece.
she's
That's
real
true.
like planty, and it's like it feels like you're in a jungle. Like it's
does
overwhelmed when
not.
she
If
speaks.
you play that
no,
again-
no,
It
no.
does
When she's
not.
okay,
It
hold
does
on, let me
not.
describe this. When she speaks, it's like kind of overwhelming, and there's branches around, and it's like you're being like enclosed on. Let's go.
No,
Let's
it
go.
honestly sounds like a project
A
skill.
broken sandwich. Chaos will follow.
Soon.
Ah, the leaves are coming!
No, there's like echo. There's like echo, and there's like stuff around it. Come
Bryce?
on, Nick.
Bryce? I'm getting word? Shut up. All right, it's
God
time for the
damn
last
it.
game of the day. It is Direwolves versus AV. Your Twitter stream to round out our day of ADCs is Guncrab. He is at his computer. He's ready to play League of Legends. League of Legends is the name of the game. AV is who we all tipped for this game. Let's throw it to the desk with Pyra and Spawn.
Thank you very much. And Spawn has something he wants to say.
No, I don't.
Oh, you were like,
Yep.
that's like the I'm about to give you a
This
lecture.
is my apathetic, like,
This is
what
this is
is
apathy.
going on?
I thought this was disappointed
No,
dad Spawn.
this is like, there is a difference.
There is a difference
Yeah,
between
absolutely.
you with the beard and you without, and it's freaking me out still.
What do you mean?
You just look 10 years younger. You're Benjamin Button.
You've been sitting on that, and I've heard it twice already today.
Shush! Don't tell. The fans didn't know that.
So
You
yeah,
revealed
just
my secret.
Destroying them.
All right, we're into picks and bans. Moving on. We got a Jace off the board and Lysandra as well.
Yeah, we certainly do. Chippy is a big Jace player. Also can be rotated into 2 other roles, I will say, loosely. We've seen a couple of jungle Jaces worldwide. Mid lane Jace, certainly a thing. So we'll see whether that comes across. Cassiopeia is an interesting one. Guncrab is a little bit of a cheese lord. Like, he plays everything. So I'm not surprised to see them get rid of that, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of focus. Direwolves are putting on Guncrab, who is our POV stream today. A lot of 80 carries we have seen. And even more focus with now the Callista being banned away, which is rocking a 0% win rate in the 3 games it's been picked so far. Back over to Avant for the final ban away. It's worth noting that Sybil is in this game as well. Avant always have the choice of jungle, and this time they've started Sybil. That is a Galio lock-in quickly.
Insta-lock. There's an insta-lock.
Yeah.
Not even like, you know what? Let's sit down. Let's talk about what
No,
else
no, no.
we're going to pick with
Bam.
the Galio.
Pick
Let's talk about what they might pick next. Like, bam! Kai. trigger figure.
Seriously.
I've actually wondered, should they, now that, you know, this actually exists, where there's always always coaches, should they actually draft in their room beforehand on something like Pro Draft, and then just go into a blind pick game and just select their champions? Because I feel like players at times are unreliable at clicking on things. And Bryce brought this up, like, in another OPL episode where Reggie swapped seats with Dyrus because he just, like, wanted to be in control of the pick bands. Like, when is it time for the coaches to have a console to do pick bands? I'll just leave that thought with everyone at home. Maybe we can get the two
Is this like a
full
Rito
feds on the
please,
couch
or
to do
know?
pick bands.
'Cause I don't disagree with you, but I need to think it through a little more. Anyways, there's a J4 and a Rise being locked in. Sybil has the Rek'Sai, and he is more of the tank player for Avant.
Yeah, it certainly is. A couple of flexi picks coming in as well. That could be a top lane Rise, could be a mid lane Rise. Heck, it could be a bottom lane Rise. I've seen some crazy things in my time, Pyra.
Yeah, you certainly
Probably
have.
not going to be a support Rise.
Ah, that's a Yorick.
It is a Yorick.
All right.
So top lane Yorick. Conqueror changes at this patch. Yeah. So Conqueror going to stack up very, very quickly with the ghouls. So the thing is, right, I've played against a lot of Yoricks. Yorick is a solo queue champion. If you're at home right now and you want to play a good top laner that never has to interact with people, everyone's like, play Sion. Dog champ, best champ. No. Play Yorick. Dead champ, best champ.
Well, ghoul
Hear me
champ.
out. Because if you hit 1E, your ghouls will solo kill the enemy. Those things, they scream, they launch, and then they do hella damage at the moment. I don't know what it is, but use your Q to last hit, and then launch your fiery little ghouls.
So what you're saying is Biopanther might be in a little bit of trouble this game.
Yeah, but don't not hit your E. So if you can't hit E, maybe play Nasus.
Well, I mean, if you have an E key, I imagine you can hit it.
No, but like there's a difference, Pyra. There's hitting your E and then there's hitting your E.
All right, do explain.
One of them hits the champion, the other you just flub it time and time again. It's not a point-and-click spell.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, we have a couple more bans that have come through. The Silas, the Yasuo off the board for Avant. We continue AD carry bans. Direwolves removing the Draven, but now they mix it up and get rid of Shock's Syndra for the final, and we're still waiting to see what the AD carry for Guncribe will be. I kind of want to just pull the Jinx out again. Jinx Thresh is a good lane. Maybe not into a Jarvan, but, you know.
No, Jinx is good into Jarvan. You get
jump it's hard to escape, right?
If you get Flame Chompers down before Flag and Drag, he doesn't finish.
That's true.
He rips back.
I'm thinking about the level 6.
Oh, yeah. Well, then nothing
But
is
it's
good
a
against Jarvan apart from Ezreal. Can you still tumble through Jarvan Ultimate? I know it was coded atrociously in the past, and Rusty is nodding his head, so apparently he still can. So that should be a counter matchup. Vayne should win that because you can tumble through his ultimate and then stun him into his ultimate. Because it's not counted as a wall when Vayne tumbles, but when you get condemned into it, it certainly is counted as a wall. Poor Jarvan. Being a Prince of Demacia, not all it cracked up to be.
Definitely not. For the Direwolves, it looks like they will finish their composition with a Sivir and an Aatrox for Biopanther. So it'll be a really interesting top lane matchup.
Potentially.
For sure,
I'm
no matter
still
who
not
it is,
sure
actually.
that it's going to be a top lane Aatrox.
I think any of the choices would make it an interesting one. And there's a Vlad lock-in, finally. And that's the end of it all.
Okay.
A lot of trickery back
Let's
and
have a
forth.
look. Where's everything going? I watched a Jarvan destroy a Vlad in the top lane in the LEC. It was Soaz playing... Who do I want to say he was playing?
What game was it? Which match?
I can't remember.
Team matchup?
But he rushed Executioner's Calling
Okay.
and went Grasp of the Undying and just proceeded to sit on the Vlad's face and just whacked him over and over again. And just was like...
Like exactly like that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And
can
then
you
like...
do that again?
And like, yeah, he like solo killed him like a couple of times and he just won the split push outright. I've never seen anyone do that. That's a mid lane Yorick, by the way.
Yeah.
So I thought I would throw that out whilst was going on. That's a weird comp coming out of Avant Gaming.
Oh, well, Avant is one of those teams that has been making a name for themselves, making a splash by really playing things that are just a little out there. So a really interesting turn of events to see Shock being the one taking the Yorick and add to it all the rest of this lineup. And it says Swathe, but don't be fooled. That is Sybil in the jungle position for Avant.
Certainly is. And now I want to talk about the mind game, right? Because a lot of people would be like, wow, if this is your pocket pick, this is a hidden thing, why are you showing the Yorick mid? Well, maybe they're not super confident in it. So they're going to play it against a team like the Direwolves, test it out, in a real stage environment, because scrim environment, much different than stage environment. Scrim environment, lots of circus music going on a lot of games, Pyra.
Yeah,
So
you can
maybe
definitely hear some Benny Hill every now and again for sure.
Yep, so
And I think that
maybe
could be the
not all
strat.
that sure of it. One thing I will say about Yorick's ghouls, which I found out the hard way because I am a Maokai player, they are immune to magic damage. You can't kill the little buggers with your magical spells. You gotta hit them with your tree stumpy arms. So in this case, Get Back doesn't have tree stumpy arms, and his auto attack is technically magic bolts of lightning. So I hope they just never die.
We will absolutely see. Now, as the game gets underway, we're joined by Coach Kai from Avant, so welcome to the desk.
Good evening.
Excellent stuff. So yeah, let's talk about the Yorick here. I don't want to ask you about confidence level in the mid of the top lane, but this was clearly something that you guys have been thinking about for a little while. Is it because the Direwolves have been a team that are kind of in the lower end of the standings that you decided to whip it out this time around?
No, I just really personally value the pick, and Shock. This wouldn't be Shock if we didn't play something like this, would it?
So your team comp, to me, kind of has some interesting dynamics, because Vayne and Vlad, real powerful at 6 items.
Very much so.
Rek'Sai, kind of crappy after 1 item. How are you looking to, and there's not all that much team fight happening. What is the goal of this comp? If you're going to give it to me in a sentence, what is this comp designed to do?
We have a bunch of scalers, and I completely wholeheartedly back Sybil to get us ahead, get us through that early game, get us the advantages we need, and then our boys will close it out.
All right, cool. And you guys chasing Mammoth currently for that 3rd place spot, which is a really important place in the ladder because it means you get to dodge first round of Gauntlet. How do you think the teams currently are stacking up against each other, and what do you guys think the next step is for you to be able to get that hurdle into the 3rd place?
I'm just so excited to verse Mammoth tomorrow, to be honest. I really value them as a team. I have all year. They've been fantastic. And I want to see what we can do against them. I think we're neck and neck, just as good as each other. They've come out of their, what you could argue was a slump earlier. And they're looking stronger than ever. And it's just super exciting to be up there with them and be able to take them on tomorrow and, stamp our authority on we are 3rd place, you're not.
All right, cool. And kind of my final question is, this has been a relatively quiet patch. 80 carry itemization has changed, but everything else has just kind of been tap downs, let's remove the champion pool. How do you guys continue to innovate with a lot of your drafts in an area where it doesn't look like the game is changing all that much, but week to week you're finding big changes to be able to implement onto the Rift?
Our players do a lot of it, to be honest. They're just extremely creative. They know the game well. They know the flow of the game, and they're able to create off that. And then it comes down to just watching VODs, see what people are doing, what could work here, what could work there, what was picked weird in a game, and then understanding why it works, and then implementing it ourselves.
Excellent stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, Kai. And
Thank you very
we'll
much.
let you go as there was a dive attempt down bottom side, but looks like the Avant boys are able to push it back, at least for the time being. Udisoft going to go in for the 2nd wind here. Corporal very low. A teleport answer coming out from Chippies. How far will they commit to this one? Udisoft a little bit further behind the team. Going to force the flash and flag and drag, and Direwolves may be wishing they didn't go for that dive.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, also means that Chippies now has to recall after burning TP, which is a huge cooldown, and they lose all their summoner spells in the bottom lane versus just 2 flashes. So I would say Direwolves won that dive pretty convincingly there, Pyra. In
Fair
saying
enough.
that, where are the ghouls? There was no ghouls.
Watch the ghouls, no ghouls. It's not happening. Meanwhile, Sybil has gone in for the gank on to get back here. He's a little bit out of mana, but he can just start to walk away. Udisoft has moved back in.
I like that from Get Back. Plays goalie very well there. Also still at a charge of the Corrupting Pot. Has some D-mats coming up and available. Here are the ghouls. Oh, he missed the E. See, look. Now the ghouls are sluggish. They do nothing. But if you hit that E...
They've got those big helmets on, man. That's the skin. It just makes them slow. They're heavy. Top heavy.
If you hit that E, they pounce. And I hope we hit the bug, because I love that bug. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but I just love that you're just so into it.
It's an audio bug where the howl just keeps going off over and over again.
It's like the old Corky bug where the Gatling gun would just go forever. Oh, there they are. Get him. Get him. He's on Get Back. Rawr. They are beastly little devils, aren't they?
Yeah, that's some damage. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the Yorick games that I have watched and cast professionally in the years of League of Legends, and there's only so many that really come to mind. It's just is one of those champions that he doesn't come out all that often, but when he does, it's just such a treat. Yeah, and I'm thinking old Yorick too.
Old school Yorick, I mean, Dyrus played it for ages, dude. That was some of the most boring
time
times.
as well.
You go tier into stupid Wriggles Lantern. You know, just sit in lane, spamming ghouls at you like, yeah. That was when his W was an AoE green ghoul that used to slow.
Well, the most of my Yorick knowledge came from being in proximity to Pulse, because that's like the kind of champion he would play.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulse was a big Yorick player. I think Papa Smithy used to play it as well a fair amount. Pretty much cheesy people play it. This is one of those situations where you need to be really careful if you're Andrew and Corporal, and that's why they've called down their jungler, because they want to be pushing this wave in, I assume. Although they are holding the freeze for right now, but if any kind of skill shot lands, you get run down in that lane very easily by Hail of Blade's Bane.
Yeah.
This is a long commit to the first brush from Ubisoft. Kind of confused as to why he's committed this much. There is no flash available on anyone down here.
This has to pay off, otherwise it really just isn't worth it right now. But look at how far back Gunkrab and Aladoric are playing. They see the ward. They won't go to clear it. They see Corporal moving forward, and they immediately back away, playing with a lot of respect and still picking up the cannon creep. This is great play from the Avant bot lane.
Yeah, but if they don't get... Oh,
there it is, and the Lantern, can he take it out to safety? He can.
He had a pink ward. That should have been pink warded. I'll calm down a little bit, but yeah, certainly should have been pink warded there. Pyra is going to be my verdict about it. And as you mentioned, he's just gone down 3 camps because he sat there. Meanwhile,
Get Back is doing just that.
Huh.
He's out of there with a Realm Warp. That is a
genius.
not so happy party portal.
What the heck? The magic spells hit them now.
Apparently.
I'm pretty sure they don't. We'll have to check in.
Interesting stuff happening in the mid lane, but a lot of ghouls coming to that party, and it's meaning Shock is able to push it in. Sybil here waiting. Level advantage over Udasoft. Waiting to see him softened up a bit as he will hop over. Get the smite on and tries to force him back. This time doesn't get the kill. Instead, he will secure that, even though it was attempted to be contested. Let's see how the collapse goes, though. Everybody coming to this party here as Sybil is kind of stopped up by the Aatrox. Chippies and Shock move in, and Biopanther is forced to flash.
Yeah, really nicely done there. That's great collapse coming through from Avant because they have to take the long ways across. However, very good support of Sybil. He now goes up even further in that jungle position, going to be going Red Smite Warrior as well. And this game right now, kind of looking like it's even kill, where the advantage is in the bottom lane for the Direwolves lineup. It's certainly in the jungle for the Avant Gaming lineup. So really are relying on Sybil to get them ahead in that scaling, as was mentioned.
They certainly are. So now Gunkrab, off of his first buy, does go for the boots really quickly. So he can move very fast around this map. It's going to make it even harder for Udasoft to try and gank him.
I'm so surprised Aladoric didn't die there. He had burnt the Hawk. And like you can just E on top of his head. You still have, I think you have Flash Melee coming back up and available. Hook's on this time though.
Ooh, they land the Sivir as well. Andrew does heal very quickly here, and now there's the Winds of War. Aladoric sticking on Andrew. Gunkrab incredibly low, ignited, heals himself, and Andrew, now there's the flash forward, forcing another flash back. Gunkrab, and Aladoric really wants to finish this kill, but it's first blood for Corporal on the other side. Aladoric might have bitten off a little more than he could chew here, but Sybil has come to the rescue. Will he be able to turn away either Corporal or Udasoft? The answer is no. It's a double kill over to the Galio. There's the Void Rush. Udasoft tracking back, flashing, missing, and Get Back comes through as well. It ends up being a 3 for 2.
Yeah, really nice play there from the Direwolves, and they're going to be able to shove this into turret. Sybil will go mid lane, so not all that much lost. In saying that, such a close back and forward little skirmish there on the bottom side of the map. Really could have gone either way. You see how low Corporal is. But in the end, it's going to be about a 600 gold advantage. Vayne will get a little bit of the farm underneath turret, and Andrew should be able to do the same. This hook, real devastating, because it means the heal has to go out immediately. But the condemn means that Gunkrab still gets stunned up, and running past the Thresh, always a bold call, especially when you're running into creeps. This is where, in my opinion, it kind of should have ended. Aladoric probably should have just peeled, not going to be able to pick up the kill solo, but instead committed forward. And it kind of got a little bit messy here, to be honest.
That's what they call bloodthirsty support.
Yeah, I mean, flash is available, you can flash that. Doesn't flash it.
A lot of flashes, though.
Many flashes afterwards. The E still goes through.
That was just a series of like commits and overcommits by several individual players.
Completely agree. But we'll end to some bottom side control. Although it is warded out, they should know that Sybil is doing this.
Yeah. Doesn't appear to be Direwolves trying to contest this anytime soon. The Ocean Dragon good, but not necessarily the one that is, worth losing a couple of kills over, it seems, if you're Direwolves right now.
So it's certainly not worth dying over. However, I would say it's better than good, pre-10 minutes. I would say if you can get one anywhere between, 6 and 15, it's a very good Drake. Just keeps you topped off, especially in the mana department. So I just really like that pick up there from Sybil. He's got the quicker jungler at the moment. He's got himself a couple of kills, uses it for a warrior and a stopwatch.
Aladoric just fishing with those hooks.
Certainly is, but needs to be careful because a lot of damage comes out of Sivir at this stage, and you're going as a Moby Boots coin versus Targan Ninja Tabby. So,
yeah,
a little bit of a discrepancy there.
Avant are definitely playing for a little bit later on into the game. And you look at the AD carry as well, because while Andrew was just kind of working his way up with the pickaxe BF sword, Guncrab, as we mentioned before, went for Zerkers early. So he's not going to have the damage to match as yet. Get back, chasing onto the Orc. Meanwhile, Rift Herald goes down. Biopanther kills Sybil. A lot of fun stuff happening there. You can see Chippies does go in to pick up the Rift Herald, but he's going to have to try and get out of it because Biopanther is on a rampage chasing him down. He gets away. That's okay. Push out on the bot. Udasov is there. Direwolves really started to make some pushes on the map at the moment. Hook in for the Jarvan. There's the box, the flay, everything. And the aggro, Aladoric is going to pick up a kill. Another overcommitment, this time by the Direwolves.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, as soon as that hook lands, you're in all kinds of trouble. You need to be able to dodge out of that one. They should have been able to pick up first turret there, Pyra. No wave clear comes out of either Thresh or Vayne. So if you pin them under the turret, so satisfying.
Oh, and there's the wall. Dark Procession. He's going to turn it back onto Shock with some damage, though. Get Back is still feeling a little more confident. There's the flash forward into the taunt. And they stand on top of the Lantern. Corporal picking up a third kill.
So I was talking to Bryce about this in our Uber on the way here from the glorious city of Melbourne. Actually, hold that thought quickly.
Aladoric getting caught up under tower. He goes gold, and Sybil is going to turn back around. Andrew a little bit low. There's the hero's entrance just for Peel. The hook goes through. It's spell shielded out. And Andrew finishes off Aladoric, keeps him in his sights, and they will get even more. All they need is the timing. In comes Udasov for a 1-2-3 punch. Get in the Thunderdome.
How much did they just get? They just got 1,200 gold worth of stopwatches. They just picked up 3 unanswered kills and get the teleport out, which means that right now, Get Back in that mid lane, going to be able to take another plate for himself. The Direwolves have just exploded this game.
This is massive for the Wolfpack, too. We keep talking about this team that's been unable to pick up wins, but we can see the growth there. The narrative for them is that they were going to be looking for Split 2 for down the line. It's a rebuilding split for this team. But in this game, a lot of what they've learned so far is already coming to bear, and they're doing this against Avant, one of our top 3 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Avant right now in that battle for top 3, certainly going to be looking to complete that one against Mammoth tomorrow, and maybe that's the case. Have they overlooked it a little bit, Pyra? Have they said, you know what, our big game this weekend is a Saturday game. They've probably got it penciled in. They know the draft. They know how they want to play it. And as I mentioned, this is kind of a little bit wonky, a little bit lopsided of a draft, in my opinion. People in Glassstone shouldn't shouldn't throw. People in Glassstone shouldn't throw houses, Pyra, is what I meant to say. Absolutely.
Don't put the Dino Gnar skin on and hit Q. Yep. But this is going to be Avant answering back with the one advantage they do have, which was top side priority and the Rift Herald. So they will be able to secure a tower, but they've already lost out on first brick. Avant definitely, I think, caught a little bit sleeping here. I mean, even in the interview, Coach Kai did talk a lot about how tomorrow's game was the one they were looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they've also been caught sleeping on that play as well, because whilst they will break top lane turret, mid lane, big fight.
Looks like it's going to be. However, Udasov is kind of caught inside a pit of Avant's, making they get one kill and out.
So that's really disappointing, because that was against the flow. What I was going to say is they got so much more off that Rift Herald usage. They should have been able to break mid lane turret. That was a fight that they should have won. Andrew certainly should have been there quicker. And they only really lost top lane turret. And that gold was shared, pretty heavily at the start. But at the same time, credit to Avant Gaming. They get the pick one more time in the mid lane. They're able to continue the play. You can see that right now it's really the bottom lane that is super far ahead. Everywhere else, either in Avant's favor, jungle 900 gold, so all pretty even, but bottom lane, 1,400 gold right now for the 80 carries and 1,000 gold for the support.
Yeah, and you can see Guncrab just picks up his first item there. The Bork is completed, so it's still going to be a little while.
What's Pugmore's favorite item?
What is Pugmore's favorite item?
Bork.
The Bork. Gosh
what
darn
a
it.
Great joke.
Yeah.
Gets Jasper every time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Not really.
I was going to say, he's got some pretty good league knowledge then.
Yeah.
He's starting him early, Spawn.
I certainly am. It's going to be a face check coming in. I was going to say this is a risky time right now for AV because they're really heavily committing bottom side. When they didn't have any control, their vision was certainly top side. However, they do just brute force it, and second dragon going to be started up. Has to be conscious of the flakes though.
Looks like there isn't going to be an answer, although
just take
Udasoff is there. They actually back away from it right now, and everybody's in the mix. They do catch Udasoff. He goes into the Dark Procession, but there's a taunt out onto Alidoric, and they just whomp him.
And Corporal, at what stage do you just go back and buy yourself like a Ludens?
Yeah, you want to get, you have
belt.
4 kills and 3 assists as a support Galio. You might as well get some AP at this point.
Yeah, he's a pretty fed member. For 7 out of the 8 kills he has been a part of, now takes another turret for himself. And once again, that was always risky because they had to use the first part of their tempo or the first part of their time, if you want to use that instead, to set up the area. You know, walk in really deep, try and sweep out some wards, try and get a pick. Didn't work. Vision very quickly regained by the Direwolves lineup, and they were playing really on the wrong side of the map. They should have gone back maybe towards a blue buff invade, maybe towards deny Fire Panther even more golden experience. Instead, they commit for the fight. They lose the fight. And now the map state, really hard for them to be able to contest because what they're going to have is they're going to have this Sivir just sitting mid lane, constantly throwing boomerangs at the wave, you know, constantly getting this mid lane push. And Vayne's never going to be able to contest that. It's just impossible. Even if you have way more items as a Vayne, if Sivir hits a wave and you hit the wave, you never push faster. So the only way Gunkrab going to be able to stop that is by being able to have kill threat. And against this 4-0-3 Galio, who's forcing the mid laner to flash.
Jeez.
What can you do?
I mean, he's just in comms right now just saying, look at me, I'm the carry now. Like, Edru can just push waves and it's perfectly fine, but Direwolves have a lot of weapons at their disposal.
Well, they just got a really good 1-3-1 comp. And I actually think AV have a really good 1-3-1 comp as well. But they wanted to play it probably 1-1-3, you know, be able to access the side lane with Gunkrab, be able to get in to the mid lane afterwards, whereas you can see Andrew just goes, hits mid lane wave, pushes it as far as he wants. He can walk to the tier 2 right now as long as Birdio is with him. No problem at all.
I think that's fair. Avant trying to answer the threat. And there's the hook from Alidoric. They grab Udasoft. The flay's on. They don't really want to commit to it because Corporal's there and he's scary.
Certainly is. But in saying that, you can see that right now Udasoft is a full phage behind. Does have himself the upgraded boots, but he was pretty squishy. You know, that was a little bit of damage that came across and it looked like a heck of a lot. So they're going to be hesitant to fight around Udasoft. In fact, they would love if he had Birdio's scoreline and maybe Birdio had his scoreline, because then all of a sudden you have a legitimate win condition.
Oh no, the big ghoul.
So can we get it? Yeah, so Shock is maxing E second, which is really interesting to me because I've seen a couple of Yorick's actually max the W second because it gives it a little bit more health. It means a couple more auto attacks need to be expended into the cage. But is not going to be the case. Instead, he goes for the empowered leap. You gotta hit those ones, man.
Yeah, hit or miss just a little bit sometimes. It has been. Getback has been able to hold his own pretty well, I think, against this Yorick, to be honest.
Yep, absolutely agree. It seems to be not all of that great of a counter pick. However, Yorick does scale very well, and he's a Conqueror user.
And they have a fair bit of scaling in that composition. You pointed it out in the interview earlier on that pretty much the only champion that's not going to have it, that is the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, it certainly is. However, in saying that, they don't really have a good front-to-back team fight. And what I was trying to allude to in that interview is generally if you play Vlad top, you want something like a Galio mid or a Lissandra mid. Or, if you can't get that, you want like Alistar jungle, Alistar support, Zac jungle, right? So you just want like big go tools for Vlad to be able to dive into the backline, be able to blow up the team fight, you know, with some support. Because Vlad is like a one-man wrecking crew damage-wise, but CC-wise offers nothing. And if the team just scatters around him and he can't get those big AoE engages off, or worse yet, he gets taunted up and just blown up because they haven't had to use any of their CC on your tank line, can be very, very difficult.
And that's part of it too. Like a lot of what Avant have is single target CC, right? I mean, I guess you can say it can be AoE if Simple can like maybe land on a couple of people at the same time, but it's a small window. And when it's single target CC, well, it's still technically called CC, but I always wondered why, because that's not controlling a crowd, that's controlling one champion.
It certainly is, but sometimes one's a crowd.
That was profound. I don't think you're correct, but I'm going to let you have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
Here's
Chippy's
Corporal.
already uses a pull.
He's out. I mean, he doesn't want any part of that. Party Portal coming through for Get Back. They will be able to polish off a tower. And Direwolves have just done a great job of really keeping Avant on the back foot. And how huge would this be for the Wolfpack after so many weeks of close calls? And disappointment. You are disappointed as well.
Did you see what that was?
No, I missed it. What happened?
Chippy's just used his stopwatch.
Oh, I was watching the tower go down.
And it was on vision.
That feels bad. That's a whoopsie.
Sometimes when it's not your day, Pyra, it's just not your day.
No, that's a good point.
Like, one of my friends the other day, he was just having a shocker. You know, he went into work when he didn't have to go into work, could have worked from home.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. So he decided to come home with me, and then he left his keys at the location that we had just left, so he couldn't get into his house or his car. So then he had to train back an hour and 40 minutes, and then come all the way back again. So sometimes it's not your day. It's not your day. Sometimes, you know, you want to play Vlad. You're hoping that you have like a Zac and an Alistar.
And then you hit stopwatch on nothing.
You end up with a Rek'Sai and a Thresh, and you're like, that's okay. At least I'm going to get home early. And then you hit stopwatch.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Man. Very poetic today, Spawn.
I'm in a very strange mood. I think it's a lack of the beard.
I was gonna say, I think it's like it's removed. It's like removed something from you. You seem
intelligent,
younger, lighter, more jovial.
Yeah, it's certainly removed something.
Yeah.
I feel like I know next to nothing about League of Legends, but
if that's where you stored your knowledge, you might want to reevaluate that. In the beard.
In the beard.
Yeah. Are you gonna grow it back?
I don't know. Maybe. It kind of grows back itself. Are
you going to allow it?
Yes. Well, am I going to cut it after it does? I think is a more poignant question.
Well, if you really want to be technical, I guess the snarkiness didn't go away, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
Looks like Udasoft's going to dodge out that Thresh hook there, and the Baron's been started by the Direwolves.
Certainly has, however, they are on a clock. Look at bottom lane right now. You can see the Yorick with the Maiden is pushing in. They don't have their jungler there, however, so this is just going to be a free pickup. Don't go too early!
To go out just in time. It was a little bit of a hit and run, but they are going to lose a tower bot side in the effort. I think that's worth, though. You didn't lose a man.
Absolutely.
You didn't get anything wrong.
Yeah, and you've got a better 1-3-1. So now you just sit whoever you think is better into the Yorick in that bottom lane, going to be able to push out as far as you want. You've got the Baron buff on your side. You just play 3 lanes. And what can they do to stop it? They don't have the wave clear. This is the thing about Shock's champion pool. When you're ahead, who cares? Just split push all day long, you know, do your funky thing. But when you're behind, control mages are in the meta because they offer the best wave clear in the game. And you just straight up don't have that if you play things like Urgot and Yorick mid. That's why Sion was kind of always the one exception, because as far as tanks go, his wave clear, like, pretty damn nuts, right? He kicks things away.
I mean, he just has so many abilities that can hit multiple minions, right?
Yeah. And, like, the big one was the cannon creep comes up, and you just walk up to it and, like, and then it
yell it away.
Flies backwards somehow.
Yeah. Well, it's on wheels, so it would kind of like roll back.
That's true.
Yeah. It's just like a big sound shockwave. He's a yelly zombie.
You're not the only one that's... I'm not the only one that's feeling, you know, poignant today.
Yeah, well, you know, it's rubbing off on me, man. All right, Direwolves are just going to go full force here. It's a 4-1 effort.
Yeah,
they take down an inner turret down bot. Meanwhile, Aatrox just letting the minions do the work, and Gunkrab, he just can't push it back. This Vayne is just having a slow game.
And, you know, I feel like we haven't talked about the game that much because it has kind of fallen to PvE after a very explosive start. But Chippy's right now is like, we can't fight. Let's give up some things. And then they're like, you're going to give up the base, dude.
Yeah, this is looking real rough, and I don't think Avant seemed to have an answer here. Chippy's has a teleport if they wanted to force a fight, but Avant just haven't felt confident enough to be able to try and collapse on it. And it just seems like it's not just Chippy's. The whole team is a bit off.
Yeah, they're whacking turrets in 2 lanes. Well, it's not Chippy's fault, right? He's like, hey, guys, if I come, can we start a team fight? And they're like, no. And he's like, cool, I'm going to stay bottom lane. And they're like, actually, we need you to come. And he's like, but we can't fight. And they're like, yeah, but if you don't, we might lose the game.
It's a feels bad man either way.
Certainly is. So does Chippy's just fly in? Does he become his own engage?
Kind of feel like they have to at this point.
Well,
even the Oracles are just watching.
I feel like we overlook that you can just lose the game. Like, we always say they have to do something. It's like, well, you know, you'd like to think so.
I think it's the assumption that a team at the pro level of play will do something, but sometimes we're wrong about that.
I've just watched too many Jag games, Junior Green Wings, to actually ever think that a team is compelled to do something.
See that face that BioPanther has right now? That's my face when you tell me Junior Green Wings games. I'm like, yep, that's what happens.
Play-by-play cast a nightmare.
No, yeah, it's Maybe casting the LCK would probably not be my cup of tea, to be honest. They
here we go. Now they got the
slow
flank.
And deliberate. And speaking of slow and deliberate, Direwolves have been shepherding these minions forward.
Here we
Here's
go.
the flank for the Vlad. They've got a big old Hemo Plague on the members of Direwolves, but they are turning it around nonetheless. Shutdown, though given Aladoric, does burn through the Galio, and this is time for Avant to turn it all around. And Guncrab starting to get on a roll here. He takes one kill, the rest of the team cleaning everyone else up, and Andrew is on a run back, can't quite get the kill.
Ooh.
And Guncrab, it was very close, but there's the ace for none.
And it's a clean ace, and they have themselves a couple of creeps. So this will be, if they tank it up, at least a few turrets going across Pyra.
This is Avant trying to reclaim some of that standing gold, and things were looking very dire, but a great flank around the side from Chippies enables them to set that play up. And they're only going to get one tower for it, it seems.
Yeah, it certainly are, but you can see right now they don't know how they want to respond. Really nice flank from Chippies, gets his full damage off. Inside the Redemption, they thought they could go for it, but Galio died in the air. That's why the drumsticks are hovering. Was Ignite, I believe. And the Jarvan just kind of flew in and got blown up, which meant poor old Andrew by himself turns around, does as much damage as possible.
Almost
One more
kills
crit,
Guncrab.
would have got it.
Yeah, I don't think Ignite is the past tense of Ignite, by the way. I think it's Ignited.
No, I think it's Ignite.
English is weird, but not that weird.
I'm going to say it's Ignite.
All right, let us know on Twitter, hashtag IamOPL.
No, don't let us know, because even if I'm wrong, I'm going to continue to use Ignite.
Well, that is your prerogative, I suppose. Well, drumsticks in the air and all. So this game has definitely gotten a little bit more interesting the last few minutes. It's very even on the gold game, by the way. It's worth pointing out. But a downed inhibitor in the bottom does mean that if it's I think it's just enough time for Direwolves to be able to start Baron when it comes up again and it'll still be down, or am I wrong about that?
No, absolutely. They will be able to do Baron with it down. More importantly, they also have a quick way to end the game if they want to continue in this 1-3-1. But it looks like they're much more interested in 1-4 right now, which is a little bit peculiar to me because it looks like, you know, when you have yourself a Galio, a Galio, and then you have two strong side laners like Ryze, like Aatrox, should be able to do some work.
Meanwhile, Shock going to be sitting down on that bottom side. Teleport's available for both the Avant solo laners, so they can react, but Direwolves have the same. That can be said of them.
But this is what I was talking about, right? Sivir gives you this ability to push mid lane so far. And look how much information they get. They know that only Vayne is answering on that mid lane, which means that there must be at least a couple of people in the jungle ready to try and stop backs and do all those good things. And if they don't go answer this Yorick quite soon, which it looks like actually Get Back is going to do, he's going to continue to push into these super creeps, and eventually he'll take the turret. I mean, Yorick is one of the best turret pushers in the game, especially once he has Trinity Force, so it's not like they can start the 5v4 every time.
No, they cannot.
There you go. That's the lesser magic damage I was talking about. You see how little damage those ghouls took? Takes like 3 spells to clear him out. Ryze one hits everything at this stage.
Yeah, they are nasty little buggers, that's for sure. Direwolves still trying to keep vision control. The river, the back of the pit itself, it's just lit up like a Christmas tree at this point. Avant are trying to match, but hard for them to really get in there. And while Shock doesn't have to directly one-on-one get back, he's right back to it. Avant here are going to be waiting in a death brush, seeing if Direwolves go to start the Baron.
I like this move from Avant because once again, we know that if they get...
And they get the hook onto the Sivir as well. Look at that damage. The Baron is even dealing it. And the last hit, he's going to live, but he's got to back away.
He lived, but that was so close. And now they're actually going to be able to start up the Baron because they know that Sivir is going back.
They're not going to do it. They're going to bait this.
That's crazy talk, man.
Wow. Yeah, I think they really should be starting it.
They've got themselves a Ginsu's Vayne. Like, the Baron would be done by now.
Also, like, yes, there's Scuttle Vision, but they can't do anything about it. That's a big miss on tempo for Avant.
Now face check coming in from Sybil. Was that a miss flag and drag, or was that just the poke?
I think he just poked it.
Okay.
Didn't drop the swag flag. So Avant do not pull the trigger, and I think that just goes to show how rattled they are this game.
Yeah, potentially. Also, could just be, you know, wanting to make sure that they don't give this one up too early. Sybil is as useful as he's ever going to be. He's got his 3 core items, got himself a GA, Black Cleaver, does a lot of damage if he ever launches himself at Andrew. So that's done. Udisoft, he's kind of as useful as he was ever going to be as well. Got himself a GA, he's going to launch in. You know,
sounds very similar.
I laugh a lot, right? But whenever I talk to a jungler, they're like, I hate when people say my champion sucks late game. Because all jungle champions suck late game. because we just get no gold. Like, any champion with no gold is bad. Well, in this game, Sybil has been able to pick himself up a fair amount of gold. He's got himself 4 kills. He's got himself 6 KP. And he also might be able to grab a Rift Scuttler right now if he so chooses.
You know, I hadn't really thought a lot about it, but considering the low amount relatively that he's played, I think this might be Sybil's best game in the OPL this split.
He did beat Order in game 1, and that was one of Avant's best games.
That's a good one, too.
So that was, in my head, that's his best game.
Top 2 spawn.
I mean, this is against Direwolves, and at 30 minutes in, you're just even. So I'm hesitating to go in there.
Come on, give me the win, Spawn. That's all I want.
Maybe. I'll give you the maybe.
Okay. That's the best I'm likely to get out of you.
I want to see Direwolves push this lane up as far as it goes right now because no one is showing on the map. So if they keep walking into River...
Avant keep trying to bait here. Get back is going to walk into it. Throws the ward down. He does dodge out of all the damage. And now the portal is coming. Get back will not take it. The rest of the team trying to collapse on, and it's Udasoft, and he dunks 2 into the zone. The combo is real, and they take down Chippies and get the Guardian Angel and the life of Sybil. That will be the Baron for Direwolves, or at least the start.
Yes,
you have to hope, but look at Shock.
Can they stop the Risers back, however, because that is the game plan. Yes, they can. So now he has to teleport to a creep. Very nicely done by Get Back. That's just really good decision making. Although he got hooked again, that's a disaster. Now Bio has to do it.
There's going to be the teleport now coming in for BioPanther, and this might open up a real opportunity for Avant to do something about this here. They're going to hook out onto the Jarvan. In goes Aladoric, and Baron is going to get taken. It is secured by the Direwolves, just barely. Gunkrab trying to take down Udasoft. He will make him go golden, but the inhibitor in the base had already fallen. Udasoft is going to get popped into his Guardian Angel. Birdio gets turned into a bunch of chicken wings, and Gunkrab trying to go on a roll here. The flag, the drag, the combo. It's not enough, and Gunkrab is going to pick up the kill. Get Back flashing forward, Shock moving away. And that was just a whole lot of chaos just right there, Spawn.
And right there, they nearly won the game. That was nearly a Baron steal by the Avant Gaming lineup. Shock putting up so much pressure, but Aladoric, the real hero, stopped the back, stopped the teleport, then hooked the jungler so he wasn't able to turn the only form of engage in that pit. But this is going to be the second Baron buff going over to the Direwolves lineup. Pyro, it feels like if they can't win a game with a superior 1-3-1, a superior team fight, and 2 Baron buffs, nothing's going to really get it done right now.
Yep. They're going to have to start pushing. Here's the play as it was. Aladoric really did make the hero call at the moment. And then Gunkrab just got to work.
Yeah, that's just style play after style play out of Gunkrab. The fact that he turns around and doesn't continue to go forward here, just playing on the fringe of danger every time. That's a nice knock-up from Udasoft. Toby trying to play it as well as he can. But at the end of the day, they don't get the Baron. However, that is still a 3-item vein.
She's starting to become very, very relevant at this point. The QSS is going to make it even harder for Direwolves to catch her. This game has just been fairly close, but Direwolves have controlled a lot of the tempo. This is Avant's chance to really change that once the Baron buff goes away, I should say. It's kind of a little bit of time before that really actually happens. Direwolves going to try to keep the push going.
I feel like if Direwolves don't win on this Baron buff, they're not winning this game. Like, everything is just starting to slow down a little bit. So I want to see them go for the play. Like, push up mid lane, make Vayne try and wave clear. Don't let her catch waves for free.
Direwolves seeming a little indecisive themselves as well.
A
Both
little?
junglers just going to look at each other.
I would say they're very indecisive right now, Pyra. They've got 2 members sitting in the river. There's no dragon available. They're once again not pushing this mid lane in, not keeping it Baron buffed.
That is a big old cannon creep. But yeah, this is a very odd happenstance at the moment. Nobody really committing to anything. Udasoft, of course, does not have the Baron buff as he died in the midst of all that, so they're going to rely on Andrew for that purpose.
So instead they go towards the open inhibitor. This is interesting, because if they win a team fight at the open inhibitor, they run in, they end the game. They can also take a party portal across to mid lane and try and continue the siege there. But I feel like they just need to sit someone with Baron buff on this creep wave, because there is no wave clear from the from Avant Gaming. Teleport coming in from behind. This could be the team fight they're looking for.
We've seen one big flank already coming out for Chippies, and Direwolves got to be thinking about that when they try to turn their attention onto Vlad, and they are just going to take the retreat.
Udasoft.
He's going down. Chippy's got the kill. So it's 4v5 right now, and Direwolves are going to back away.
Chippies is a one-man army, but he should have died there. like goes into 4 members. They turn around in time. They see him coming. CC should have landed, but instead, it's just going to be Ubisoft one more time, who is so damn squishy falling down. That means they buy even more time. This Baron buff is going to expire. And it's just like the young Wolfpack is out of answers right now as to how they should try and close out this game.
Yeah, it's Avant going to be running it down the mid lane at the moment, trying to do the best they can to close this one out. And it's just been such an oddity of a game. Chippies, who, you know, kind of had a bad case of bad luck earlier on and just unlucky timing as well as hitting that stopwatch and things. All of a sudden, he started to look like a pretty big carry for the Avant lineup, and they will break open another inhibitor. They've now got 2. They do so much damage as well.
Yeah, everyone does damage when you're at 36 minutes into the game. The game's still dead even in gold. It's just Ocean Drakes, no real Drakes to talk about.
Yeah, the next one's going to be the Elder, and that's the only element we've had has been Ocean this time around. I feel like it's going to come to third Baron.
I feel like you just need to hit the go button at some point if you are the Direwolf lineup. Might be now.
Direwolves dodging away a little bit. It's Avant that's on the chase there, pushing them into their own jungle. Direwolves now turn around. Everybody dancing about, but nobody taking the commitment here.
They just both want access to this mid lane wave. You can see that Sybil's so low. That's the ultimate.
And they're going to go for it, looking for Gunkrab. He dodges out, takes the lantern, and Sybil tunnels underneath the wall here. Direwolves just hunting for targets, forcing flashes, but finding no purchase at all.
Hook lands.
Aladoric does get the hook onto the Birdie-O, and Corporal's out of there. They turn their attention back to Gunkrab on the second win. Udasov taken low, taken down. Gunkrab on a rampage, but he does fall down, and into the back they go. Avant Gaming starting to melt through the Direwolves, and that's going to be the decisive fight that should end the game.
And time again, the Kiwi top laner is tearing them apart. Sybil's still going.
Looking for Andrew. He doesn't go down, but they've started to march into the base right now. And with those death timers, you have to think this is where it all comes undone for the Wolfpack. They've hooked in the Aatrox. Biopanther's going to be a dead man in just a couple of seconds, and so is Andrew. And more importantly, so is the Nexus. Avant fight it back and claw a win. But what a hard-fought one it was, and what a strange turn of events to get us here, Spawn.
Absolutely. I mean, just looking at this game, Avant shouldn't have won it. Like, call it what it is. They were in a situation where they lost the Baron against Superior 1-4, Superior 1-3-1. They had no wave clear, they had no form of engage. But time and time again, Chippies was able to get backline access, whether it was creative flanks, teleport plays, you know, good vision control. And then other members started taking inspiration, started popping up. Aladoric with a hero Thresh play, stopping 2 recalls, you know, ensuring 2 more people die with Baron. That play gets stalled out. All of a sudden, you know, Gunkrab feeling it a little bit, has a couple of stylish team fights, and they win the game, but my goodness gracious. If you are Avant and you're trying to vie for 3rd spot on the ladder, and that is a Direwolves lineup with 1 win, you are thanking whatever greater power you believe in.
You still got it at the end of the day, but
that
wow.
did not result in a loss, because that could have been devastating.
Very easily. And I think that's going to be a lot of review tape for both teams to really look at and be like, what the hell happened here?
I'm so sad for the Direwolves. That was such a close game, and they executed like, I'm not going to say 9 out of 10, because there were certainly holes in their vision and a couple of other areas. But, you know, they were doing more things right than wrong that game. But they just against a very resilient opponent. That's one of the things that I respect the most about Avant. You know, young team, a lot of belief. Like, that's a good thing. And then the ingenuity they bring, both of them on full display this game. And they do manage to pick up a hard-fought win.
Yeah, so Avant eked out the win. Let's see what the couch has to say about it as we send it back to them.
Against all odds, arguably, game of the day. Match of the day. I mean, what was that?
That was the one match that we said wouldn't be match of the day, right? Compared to the first 2. But, geez, that was a hard-fought victory, to say the least.
That was a longie, I think. And I feel like it did, like, Jake kind of hit on it, but to sum it up, like, that was a game of individuals. I think, in my eyes, like, AV end up with the win, right? But, like, Direwolves have the comp. They have, like, a cohesive team comp. And in my eyes, like, you're looking at AV, like, this is a stylish play. From ahead, I think, like, the Yorick mid can be super impactful, like the Thresh, the Vlad can get flanks. But once that's stalled out in the mid game, I feel like AV should have had a very hard time setting their game plan up. Like when it's even and you don't have access to like very deep flank wards, Chippy shouldn't be getting a one-man flank, but in the end, like he does. Aladoric is like flash hooking to cancel a recall that's potentially ending the game. Like this was cool stuff that was happening. Like Guncrab has that singular team fight where he's popping off. He like flashes over the back of the Baron wall and gets back in it. Like it came down to like a game of individual plays for AV, but it took a long time to close.
Yeah, that is something that I will fully agree with, right? At the end of the day, the only reason AV won that game, and I believe they should have lost that game to the Direwolves with the state it was. Once that inhib was gone, they had a Baron, the game just should have been over.
Yeah.
There's no way it plays how it does, but Ali's a good example, Guncrab's a good example, and so is Chippy's. It just shows like the resilience that Spawn mentioned and the fact that we're getting team fights when we should be losing the game. Just plain and simple, it seems like they just showed up when the comp was against them.
Absolutely. And I think at the end as well, you see when the team shook hands, Direwolves was sort of like smiling, laughing a bit. Like, I think for them, they felt as though, yeah, we may have lost, but we took it right to the edge. And, you know, that's improvement.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly. Because like Direwolves, I mean, old Direwolves had the same philosophy, but just at the very different point of the ladder. I was saying about like last year's Direwolves, they learn things together. Like unless they're like a school class that nobody moves on unless everybody understands what they're talking about. So they get like they're all very good at weak side. Like King in the bottom lane is like playing defensively very well. Then they move on to the next thing, the next thing. Direwolves this year are like young upstarts, rookie players, but they're still like, they're not throwing cheesy picks. They're just playing standard stuff, standard comps. This is another Direwolves like pick for comp, Siva. We have the Engage.
It's almost like your comps last week.
We have the Jarvan, we have the Galio. So like they're playing standard stuff and obviously looking for long-term progressive improvement. And we are seeing that, right? Like AV is a good team. They take them to the wire. Like probably they should have been winning that game. We can say that about a bunch of their other games as well. They're maybe not aggressive enough, but like the steps are there and they're very obviously all of the players bought into the philosophy of like slow, steady progress and we will make something of this.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully he's composed himself after that narrow victory, but we've got Chippies at the desk with Fire.
Indeed we do. And that was a very strange game, in all honesty. There was a lot of back and forth, and I think for a long time it really did seem like the Direwolves were going to take it out from under you. How did you guys really keep it together and kind of hold the line when it seemed like you were going to be losing?
I think our draft mainly is just like, all right, we have Vlad and Vayne, no matter how far behind we get. Like, I'm pretty confident in the game, but yeah, it was a bit scary. You
were being kind of forced to be the Engage because it did seem, as Spawn pointed out, like it's kind of hard to find a little bit of frontline in a composition like that. So in a straight-up team fight, wasn't happening. You wrapped around like twice and managed to set up like these big old Hemo Plague kills. Who was setting the calls for that? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. I'm in charge when I play Vlad. No one else
can
tell me what to do.
When that happens, nobody else makes the calls?
Yeah, I'm the Vlad guy, no one else.
So this might answer the next question I was going to ask you is why weren't you the one who was on the York? You just really wanted to play the Vlad?
So I was thinking about York because the matchup's pretty good into Trox, but like I feel like if we just played an AP Mage, our comp would have had no Engage. So it's like, would have been pretty hard to close out, so I just want to go Vlad.
Okay, fair enough. So it does seem like Avant is one of those teams that is really willing to kind of shift things around on the fly. How much of the draft, and I don't mean like this draft in particular, but just overall, how much of it do you guys really spend a lot of the week preparing with your coach, and how much of it is like in the moment, I definitely want to do this and we can build something around it?
I think it's a little bit in the moment, but we do plan all week. So I think Shock like dumpstered Roma with York mid. He's like, this is so broken, I want to shovel some heads in. So all week we just spam Yorick flex and then like get it ready for today.
Fair enough. And, you know, it definitely netted you a win, but it does seem like things are a little bit shaky sometimes, and I don't really know what to attribute that to. What do you guys feel like you need to work on to establish a little more consistency since you're still sitting and vying for that top 3 spot?
I think our mid game's really shaky. Well, like today, our mid game was better and our early game was trash, but normally we get ahead early with our strong laners and good junglers, but like normally we can't close out games. It takes us like 40 minutes, so we just got to work on our macro mainly.
Fair enough. Well, you got a few weeks more to do it. Thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on the win, Chippies. Cool. To close this out, let's send it back over to the couch.
Bam, we're here.
At the couch.
At the couch.
Closing it out.
That was a great night. That was
great night. Let's all go home.
Yeah, let's all go home. We just got one more thing we're going to do.
Smash some chairs behind the desk.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Chippies is just wrecking the set. He broke a television. He's not wearing pants. It's all very strange. 2 things. 1.
Hello.
Nick Bag.
Nick Bag.
We're going to be running that tomorrow again.
Yes. I thought it was Nick Box.
We don't know what it is. It still doesn't have a name.
Both.
Rusty said I need to call it Nick Bag. So then apparently I have to do what Rusty says. It's in my contract. So send in your questions to asknickboy@gmail.com. They could be about literally anything. In fact, we prefer that, and we'll answer some questions.
Make them about something.
Yeah, please. I mean, you're not Jerry Seinfeld. You can't just make the show about nothing.
We don't want any Minky Whale stories that are just a
Yeah.
lot of build-up and absolutely
wants
zero
that.
payoff. None of that.
But something that does have payoff, it's spicy tips, or as we say today, limey tips,
Limey
I
tips.
suppose. I mean, that's the perfect run for Nick Boy, Bryce, and Rusty. Unfortunately, Pyra and Spawn.
And yet here you are, Brycey boy. Here you are.
Because someone couldn't keep their mouth shut.
Look, I thought, okay, Claire, you know, they ended that game too quickly because I was like, look,
Explain
he
what
yeah,
happened.
no, so I made a bet. I was like, okay, Pyro, like during the cast, do you think Claire's gonna like keep his 25 stacks? Because he was very close to dying, and I was like, the next fight he's gonna get too confident and he's gonna throw like some stacks, like dying. Well, he didn't have it yet, right? But then obviously he did.
Yep.
So I am eating a consolation lime with Pyra. I'm not eating Pyra's lime because this guy hasn't done shit all split. He hasn't eaten a chili. He hasn't eaten a lemon.
He ate one
he
Weet
ate a
Bix.
single
One
Weet
Weet Bix.
Bix.
Oh, I'm so
I eat
sorry,
Weet Bix every day of my life.
Yeah.
We're both getting on the lime train.
No, you know what? That's fair. That's totally fair, Bryce.
Yeah.
We'll do it together.
Catch.
We'll be lime bros.
There we go.
How do I eat
One for
with
you.
the skin on? That doesn't.
That's the
No, that's
point.
the point.
You eat it like an apple.
All right.
That's
we
just
I think
disgusting.
the little knobbly bits on the end, that sounds like a bad time.
Yeah, let's not
I'm
do
going
that.
in.
Bryce,
How
you
many
talk us-
bites?
Like as much as you can do before the cameras turn off, and I will ensure that the cameras are not turned off until you swallow that entire lime. Bryce, you talk through results from today.
Oh, yep.
Jake, if you give us through tomorrow's
Tomorrow?
schedule.
You're
and
done
then
with the OPL for this week?
Pyra, maybe you could recite a few lines from your favorite nursery rhyme, and then I'll close this out. All right, when we're ready, gentlemen.
Okay, so let's bring up. What are you doing?
I'm
You're
washing
wetting the
it.
couch.
No, I'm washing the lime. I
Oh.
don't trust it.
It's
Oh.
competitive eating.
What
He's
if
just gonna
there's
put
just
it down
a bloody?
whole.
What if there's a needle in
Yeah,
her line?
what happens?
Oh no.
Well, you get that.
that's,
you get that
I'm not
mad.
ready to joke about that yet.
Okay, fair
get
enough.
that
So
mad
if
liquor
you're
stain
out
on
there
it.
still, you're
They're not. They're
disgusting.
arrested.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
It's done.
Wait, so we eat? Oh, okay.
Go,
Yeah.
go.
I
Very
can't
difficult to
get
find.
in.
You need sharper teeth.
I actually can't break the skin. This is really hard.
Is this? Yeah, there we go. Bryce has got it. Oh, Jake is going ham. There's just so much
It's so
juice.
juicy.
My goodness gracious me.
Get in there, Pyra.
Are you in it yet?
Barely.
The skin is very thick.
You can't eat the skin.
Well, just chew as much as you possibly
No,
can.
I'm not eating the skin. I'm just like getting in it.
Shoe Dinner says, is this esports? Yes.
Oh my god, the poor carpet.
It's so sour.
When you're ready, Bryce, just talk us through the results for today.
Yeah, come on. Let's go to the graphics. So Bombers, a very one-sided affair. First game of the day versus Mammoth. Gave him a little bit of a beating, and then in a similar fashion, Chiefs did the same thing to Order. After a bit of a shaky early game, but once they got the victory, it ended that way. And then Gravitas take the victory over Legacy in the third game of the day. And in a very, very long, slow ending for AV, they get the W over the Direwolves. Oh, I've got pips in my mouth.
Extra is Beast
I like
says
that.
Lime eat sports, and I appreciate that. Jake, games for tomorrow, please.
Game one.
Oh god, it's stuck in the teeth.
Gravitas versus Bomber is going to be an uphill battle for Gravitas. Uphill. A little bit of a shudder. Or to take on a rejuvenated Direwolves. I'm actually shitting myself about that game. Because if we lose that, I think we've lost the entire round robin. Because there's only 7 games, right? We're on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah.
That's the entire round robin. Avant Gaming going to be up against Mammoth. That's for the 3rd place spot. We keep mentioning it. And then Legacy versus the Chiefs round us out in OPL Classic Code.
Fantastic. And then Pyre, a few lines.
I'm just wet. I've got lime juice everywhere.
I can't think of anything, but all right. You wanted a song, you got it. You are my sunshine.
Please send the show.
Sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. And that's all I remember, to be honest.
All right. I did ask for a nursery rhyme. Obviously, you're dead inside. You can't remember anything from your childhood.
It's a song.
Thank you very much for the dad of the broadcast. That is it for the evening.
Yes,
we will be back
sir.
tomorrow.
Yes,
we are hosting
sir.
Saria.
3
Send in your
bags full.
questions for the
One
Nick bag.
for the
Everyone's enjoyed their
master
lines.
and one
Welcome
for
back
the
to Nick
day.
Esports, baby. We're
And
done
one
talking about
for
League for the night. We'll
little
see you
boy
tomorrow.
Who lives down the lane. Woohoo!